for black people
Today I'm
what the
going
United
to
States
be,
was for white people.
sorry if you hear the TV in
The
the
land of the
background,
free,
but today I'm going to
the
be
home
playing
of the brave.
Creepy Granny Scream.
Over 10,000 African Americans fled to Canada
And I
in the
advise you,
1850s.
this game,
Well-known conductor
but
of
if you
the
want
Underground
to play by
Railroad,
yourself, want to, you can play
Harriet
it with somebody
Tubman.
else, but I advise you, I think you might want to play it with somebody else.
Tubman settled here in
I'm
the
saying
tiny
this to
town of
demand,
St.
but I'm just saying
Catharines,
because this
and
game I
joined
did
this
it every
church.
time. I
Became
didn't
a
get
hub
finished
for
playing it because it was
runaways.
kind of scared. So if
There
you
are
guys want
black
to play with
families
that's
still
what
living
you
in
guys
this
want to play
town
with somebody
who
else,
trace
that's on
their
you.
roots
But I'm just
back
saying
to those
because it is
runaways.
creepy.
People's
And it has
ancestors
a
took
lot
an
of jump
almost
scares.
unimaginable
So
risk.
Here is just one portion of the descendant wall from 1838 all the way to today. This is portions of the Casile family. You had to get out of the South, and you were on your own. What did you have?
So,
You didn't have a
you
map,
guys-
you didn't have the education, you
okay,
had
you
nothing.
guys might not
So
see
you
me.
had to be able to
But
rely
this is the
on
last
your
time
North
I'm
Star
gonna say that you guys might not see me
and
because
yourself.
I don't got
I
time
want
to
to point
keep
out
like
my
saying over and over
immediate
again.
family. So this is on
So
my mother's
let's
side.
do the
Yeah,
practice.
this is my
Explore
mom's
the
mom.
house
And
fearlessly.
then
Killer
bounty
is not
hunters are after you.
home.
So there was a
Alright,
lot
start
at
game.
risk, and not many would do it. And those that did, I mean, it's documented. You had to be a little bit bent.
You had to be totally crazy.
Yeah. When I was a youngster, we know the stories, but I never appreciated any of it. Never looked back or even thought about it until I was grown. And that's like, oh my God, my people did that? That's how we got here?
What happened?
The very existence of these families, an entire community of people descended from escaped slaves, is a testament to their strength.
When I think about the Underground Railroad, it makes me want to claim slaves, right, as my ancestors, because they were genius in order to pull something off like this. I think about this and I think, well, you know, slavery is not a shame on me, because I some of the most creative, resourceful people in the history of the United States. That's a shame on the slaveholders. But there's no stigma that I bear by being descended from
Like,
people who can do something
actually,
like
guys,
that.
I had to be very,
You know, who
very
can pull
brave
something
to
like
play
that
this
off.
game on an easy mode, because on an easy mode,
Unfortunately,
then the killer is
the
going to be
Underground
home, but on
Railroad was
the
out of
practice
reach
mode is
for
not.
almost all slaves.
Right.
Only a
I have to
fraction
be very brave
ever
sometimes.
made it to freedom.
This game is just like
Their
Granny,
stories
but
are
instead
inspiring,
it's
but their experience was not
in
typical.
a different way. Well, we
As the
got
Civil War
kitchen.
drew near, almost 4 million slaves remained trapped in a nation still struggling to resolve its most fundamental contradictions. Their lives were desperate, and the choices they faced are hard to contemplate. Covington, Kentucky, the northern border of the slaveholding South. In January of 1856, an enslaved woman named Margaret Garner lived here on a farm. Margaret was 22, she was married with 4 children. Freedom lay just 5 miles away, so she and her husband decided to run.
Okay.
They traveled by night and made it here, to the banks of the Ohio River. at
Nothing in
dawn.
here.
This was the barrier
Let's
between
get the
slave
gas
Kentucky
again.
and free Ohio. It was a quarter-mile wide and frozen solid.
They got here just before sunrise.
They must have
What
been
was that?
exhausted and terrified.
And cold.
Yeah, and they look over there, and it's nothing but ice.
Frozen solid.
A natural
It
footprint.
sounded
And
like a
natural
growl or
footprints to freedom.
something. Like, I actually heard it, y'all.
The Garners walked across the
I
river,
don't know if I really want to play this
risking
game
their
anymore.
lives with every step.
That puts me in a creepy mood.
And then they arrived at a small house in Ohio, owned by a free black man. But their triumph was short-lived. Within hours, federal marshals had tracked the family down.
They got a big block of wood and start ramming in the door. They try to go into the windows, and outside a crowd is gathering, just to see this scene taking place. Inside there's mayhem, there's alarm, people were hysterical at the thought that they were so close to freedom and had only enjoyed it for 2 hours. And now, it looks like they're going to be returned into bondage.
Nightmare.
Yes.
Barricaded in the house, Margaret Garner did something unthinkable.
As the marshals were battering in the house, Margaret Garner decided, rather than return to slavery, she would kill her children.
Weapon key, I think, goes downstairs.
When the marshals finally broke in, they were confronted by a horrible scene. Margaret had slashed the throat of her daughter Mary. Mary lay on the floor, dead. Hiding in the next room were her 2 young sons, still alive, bruised and bleeding. Margaret, knife in hand, was quite clear about what
Alright, I
she'd
can
done
shoot, right?
and why.
The only
Alright.
direct quote we have
To be
from
honest, I do
Margaret
good
Garner
with
about
shooting,
the
so
murder was,
if I shoot
she
good,
says, I did the
I got
best
good
that a
shooting
mother could
skills.
do, and I would have done better
Even though
and more
she's
for
not
the
at
rest.
home,
I've done
I still
the
use the
best
gun.
I could.
Meaning I would have killed them all
Right.
if I could have.
And for her, she said this to a couple of visitors who saw her when she
Leave
was
the gun here.
that this was freedom. She called her deceased toddler a bird for having flown into freedom.
Margaret Garner quickly became a legend, celebrated and condemned across the country.
I wonder what's
What
in
she
here.
had done became fodder for both
I
sides
never
of the
opened that
slavery
door
debate.
before, so
Southern whites claimed that Margaret showed that black people were subhuman, capable of monstrous deeds, and in need of their master's paternal care. Abolitionists claimed that Margaret revealed the essential inhumanity of bondage.
Margaret Garner stood for powerful ideas, images on all sides. And perhaps not enough for her own side. It's like, I'm not a poster child for abolitionism. I'm not a defective mother. But I am a woman who knows what it feels like, looks like, means to be a slave. And I don't want that for my children.
Margaret Garner's story had a final tragic turn. An Ohio court ruled that, as a slave, she was property and couldn't be tried for murder. So she was given back to her owner. And here, on a riverboat heading south, Margaret made one last decision about her family. She let her infant daughter Celia slip into the icy water and drown.
If Celia had only lived 9 more years, she would have been free. But Margaret couldn't have possibly known that. Margaret preferred to kill her own children rather than to allow them to live the social death of slavery.
It was a horrifying decision, but it tells us something about the America of its time. Slavery was so deeply embedded in the nation that violence seemed the only way to end it.
okay, so we have the crowbar.
And much more violence was coming.
Enjoying this program as much as we are. It is an important documentary. It is a journey through history that brings new depth depth to our experience, and we hope brings us together. I'm Lynn May here with my partner, Sylvia Ewing.
Thank you so much. We're glad that you're watching. This programming gives you a wealth of discoveries and adventure. PBS takes you on a journey that you can share with your family, and there's an easy way to bring this story home. Give us a call right now. Ask the operator about the 2 DVD set. It can be yours as an ongoing monthly gift for $7 as a sustainer, or for
So
a
I just
one-time
came through
gift of
here.
$84.
That's right. You know, this documentary series is so well researched. Think about what you're getting for what you contribute to this station. 5 centuries of history. It's digestible, it's accessible, and as Sylvia mentioned, if you join
Now
us
let's
as a
see.
sustainer,
Let's
become
open
part
it.
of the family, what you do is you have an ongoing monthly contribution that you make that automatically comes from your bank account or your credit card until you tell us otherwise. You decide the amount that is convenient